Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and why not everybody else? This is John Paval for Access Arts Live with today's update on the four finalists who will be playing this evening in the final round of the Chopin International Piano Competition, which has been thrilling. Live stream audiences of tens of thousands of viewers for the last couple of weeks, starting out with 80 participants who were culled down from 160 who started out during the spring trials, down to 40 in the second stage, down to 20 in the semifinals last week, and now down to 10 finalists finishing up this weekend, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Before I go any further, let me remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching this on any of our other platforms, where so many of you do and like our videos, please don't just like the videos. Follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and or LinkedIn to make sure that you get our more than 1,000 live links to live performances online every year, with weekly and sometimes daily updates. I want to give you a little update on yesterday's live stream action. I do not pretend to be a musicologist. I do not pretend to be judging the technical abilities of the contestants, but I did watch the first of these three final sessions yesterday. I can tell you a little bit about what my impressions were of where can I find that? Can I find the photograph of it for you so I can talk about this intelligently? We had I want to tell you about the four finalists that I saw, what I thought of them just briefly. Eric Liu is the one that I was tuning into, and I was hoping that he was going to stand head and shoulders above all of the other contestants. That was not my experience at all. I was hoping he was going to show up like Vladimir Wisniewski did at the Rachmaninoff competition back earlier this year. And Wisniewski was just on another plane, in another space than all of the other contestants, playing not just with a mastery, but he was above the music, and he was just playing it and expressing it. It was wonderful. But I didn't, Eric Liu didn't impress me. He didn't come off that way yesterday. He played very well, you could see that he has a lot of experience as a performer and all of that. In terms of technical expertise, I doubt anybody's going to play better than he did. But my feeling was that in terms of passion, in terms of engagement, in terms of expression, that he had not established himself as somebody who could not be bested. The crowd pleaser yesterday night was the very young 16, 17-year-old. She's just turning 17 years old this week, I think. Tianyao Liu. She's 16, 17 years old, and the crowd absolutely loved her. And she does. I mean, she played very, very well. Very impressive. She had the crowd was on there. Some of them were on their feet at the end of her performance, but I don't see that at her age, that there's the maturity in her playing yet that would allow her to win against some of the other performers. The big surprise of the evening was Vincent Ong. I can't say whether he played better than anybody else, but I'll tell you, I enjoyed his playing more than anybody else yesterday. A lot of the people in the chat box were commenting on how much confidence he had and all of that. What I just noticed was that he was really playing the music. He wasn't, trying to do it right. No, he was playing it the way he wanted to, the way he felt it meant. And that was something I didn't see it with that same presence as I did with the other three performers last night. So if I had to guess, if I were on the jury, I would find it hard not to be thinking about Vincent Ong as how does he stack up against the other performers? And I didn't feel that way about any of the others that I heard yesterday. But that's just me. I'm no expert. Okay, so let me talk to you about the four performers today, give you a little bit of background on them so you know where they went to school and what kind of awards they've won in the past. It's Miyu Shindo's going first. She's Japanese. Zitong Wang. And is that a typo there? It should be W-A-N-G on her photo. I'm sorry. She's Chinese. William Yang, the American, and then then Piotr Alexewicz, the remaining Pole. Now that people, to the great disappointment of some people like Piotr Pavlak, are no longer in it. I mean, there are some people saying, wow, this whole thing isn't serious anymore because he's not in it. I don't know about that. But okay, they will all be playing Chopin's Polonaise in A-flat major, Opus 61, as is the case throughout these finals. Some of you who really know this well, you already know this stuff, but bear in mind, Access Arts Live is to spread this knowledge and awareness to people who don't know it already. So that's why I'm talking about stuff. And then they have the choice, as those of you who are following know, between Chopin's Piano Concerto in E minor, Opus 11, or his Piano Concerto in F minor. And what we found today is that the first two contestants or participants, they will be playing the E minor, and the second two will be playing the F minor concerto, which is yesterday the only one who played the F minor was Eric Liu. So I missed having a comparison between him and the other candidates directly on the same piece of music. It was really hard to compare those apples and oranges for someone like me, anyway. So Miyu Shindo, she's about 23 years old, born in 2002. She's chosen, she'll be playing the Steinway piano and to play the concerto in E minor, as I mentioned. She went to the Moscow Conservatory, which is interesting for someone from Japan. Now she's at the Hanover Hochschule for Musik, Theater und Medien. They have those Hochschules in all the German cities. She was recently the winner of the City of Vigo piano competition, which I don't know. Also, she won the Chopin International Competition in Asia, which I have heard of. She was a laureate at the Beijing Chopin competition, the Kissingen Piano Olympics, the Gina Bachauer Junior competition, and she was in the semifinals of the 18th Chopin competition in Warsaw. So she's already been through this. Which is, I think, important because it's extremely stressful. And if you've already been through that stress, it's sort of like, well, if you played at the championship level once and competed, then you know what's coming and can better adjust to it. She was in the same semifinal group as Vincent Ong, who played so well yesterday, and the two Poles who got knocked out, Pavlak and Prokopowicz, that so many people are upset about. Actually, including maybe Garrick Olson. I don't know. It's hard to tell what he's going on. But at the end of the first round, he just went out and announced that, hey, there were people I wanted in the second round that didn't make it, which I thought was unusual for a jury. So that's Miyu Shindo, and I think the fact that she's already been there counts in her favor. I think that's going to help her. Next up, and what I wanted to be doing is showing you the individual photos of these people as I'm going along, and I messed up and I didn't do that for her. So let me just give you, the competition website gives you these pictures that show what people look like when they're wearing a nice sweater, and I don't think that's what people want to see. You want to see what they're like in action. This is Miyu Shindo in action. Okay. So for me, it's like athletes. You want to see them in play. You don't want to see what they look like in a green sweater. Which is fine. If they have a nice smile, but that's not what we're looking for. Okay, so this is Zitong Wang. She's one of the older competitors, like Eric Liu, born in 1999, so she's 26 already. She chose to play the Shigeru Kawai piano, which a lot of people have been talking about. You know, it's very interesting. You go to that chat box. It's got so many people in the chat box because they have like 45,000 people watching this. And you get people chiming in saying, "Oh, that's a terrific Shigeru Kawai piano," and then you get other ones chiming in and saying, "Why are they playing that? It's horrible." So I don't know how to judge that. She's playing the Piano Concerto in E minor. She studied with Deng Tai Song at the New England Conservatory, and that impresses me. Um, I saw him playing at some of the summer chamber music festivals this summer, and he was terrific. And there's like a gap in her awards sort of biography. She won the Rosalind Turek Bach Award in New York City in 2010. And then her next listing of an award is 10 years later in 2020. And her latest award was sixth prize in the Busoni competition in Bolzano in 2023. So I'm not sure what all that adds up to. She had her first solo recital at the Forbidden City Concert Hall in Beijing when she was only 13. She has played at places like the Verizon Hall in Pennsylvania, the Severance Hall in Cleveland. She's played in Beijing, Shanghai, Taipei. She's played with the Philadelphia and Cleveland Symphony Orchestras. So she's gotten some performance experience. In the semis, she was together with Tomohiro Ushida and Yifan Wu, neither of whom I don't think made it into the finals. So that's Zitong Wang for you. That's what I can tell you. If you want to know more than that, I'm not sure where you would get it because there's not much more information than that on the Chopin competition website either. Although they do have up, I give them credit. If you look hard, you may be able to find a recorded video clip with Zitong Wang talking about what Chopin means to her and what being at this festival means to her. Next up is William Zhang, the American. Apologies for a picture of him with his head bowed, but that was the best performance picture I could find. And I want performance pictures of them. I want you to see them, what they're like in competition. He's the first of tonight's pianist who has chosen the Piano Concerto in F minor, Opus 21. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing that and seeing how it compares to what Eric Liu did with it yesterday. William Yang right now is hot. He won this year's National Chopin competition in Miami, which was not long ago. And he also got the Mazurka and Sonata prizes there. So, but you know, it's kind of funny. He kind of like Zitong Wang, his other prizes and competitions that he lists in his bios and all were all a decade ago in the U.S. So again, there's like a decade-long gap, and I'm not sure what accounts for it. But anybody who just won a national Chopin competition is a force to be reckoned with. And he's performed with a few orchestras. I guess the best of them was the Minnesota Orchestra. And the others are sort of like regional, the Fort Worth Symphony and Southeast Iowa Symphony Orchestra. Not something you're going to write home about, but, you know, it's performance experience. He was part of the Gang of Four of last Thursday. When I looked at the lineup in last Thursday's semifinals, I said, wait, this looks like finals. Because it was Chen, Eric Liu, William Yang, and the next guy I'm going to talk about, Piotr Alexewicz. And I said, these guys all look to me like they're very likely to be in the finals. So, and they all came through. And did I mention he's going to be playing a Steinway? So that's William Yang for you folks. And I didn't mention where he studied. I just carried away by the fact that he won the competition in Miami. And I think that's the big flag about him. Watch out. He's a Curtis Institute graduate, and he's now at the Juilliard School. Boy, pianists, they study for a long time. Some of them, they just don't stop. And last but not least is the Polish favorite, Piotr Alexewicz. We had a number of people that were watching that seem to have dropped off. I hope I'm not doing such a bad job, folks. Finally, here's Piotr Alexewicz. He's 25 years old. He'll also be playing the Piano Concerto in F minor, Opus 21. His bio doesn't say where he studied, it's who he studied with Pavel Zawadzki in Wroclaw, and Konstantin Sherbakov in Zurich, and Nikolai Demidenko. He was the runner-up at the Hilton Head International Piano Competition this year, and he has twice won the National Polish Friedrich Chopin Competition in Warsaw. So, well, at least he got through to the finals. And in 2024, he won the Texas Piano Concerto Competition and the Schenk Competition in Switzerland. He's performed at places, at venues like the Berlin Phil, the Sala Sao Paulo in Brazil, in Wroclaw, the Warsaw Phil Hall, the Symphony Hall in Osaka. He's also performed at the Salle Courtauld in Paris, but that's not a big deal. I can tell you that. The Salle Gaveau in Paris is a big deal. The Salle Courtauld is just at the music school. Anybody can rent it out and play there. But he's also recorded 2 albums for the Chopin Institute. So they have really liked him in the past, and I don't know if that will help him with the judges or if it will not help him with the judges. Folks, that is what we have for you for this evening. I don't have any prognostications to give you. Ben Lauda has been doing a great job with doing commentary, and sometimes late in the evening he will do a review of how the performances went, and he will certainly be doing a review on Monday night after the finals are over. So I commend that to you as another live stream you can check into and get a lot of expertise. If I would have one hesitation about the work of what they've done at the Chopin competition with their live streams, it's that they're highly sophisticated. So that if you are not a piano aficionado, there's an awful lot that gets discussed that you're not going to follow. I enjoy listening to it, but I think they could benefit from having additional commentators like yours truly, who don't leave the viewers in the musicological dust when they're finished, but who keep things on an even keel so that non-expert audiences can follow. They're up to 46,000 viewers at a shot with these live streams, and I think they could easily double that and be in the 6 figures of viewers by the time the next one rolls around in a few years from now. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you who have been listening, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always thrilled when I get any comments at all. I got a comment from Nisha Thakkar that says hello. Well, hello, Nisha. Thank you for saying hello. People rarely do so, and I'm always thrilled when you do. I hope you'll be tuning in. Look for Access Arts Live in the chat box tonight if you do tune in for these finals, because I will be there following it. I want to see how some of these other contestants, William Yang and Piotr Alexewicz, how they do with the F minor concerto and how that compares to what Eric Liu did, and see if any of them do better than Vincent Ohm, who so far is the one I enjoyed the most. So ciao for now. I'm going to be back online in about 10 minutes time, but that's a whole different live stream. It's about the ballet being put on by the Vienna State Opera Ballet. But that's it for today's competition. I'll be back tomorrow to give you an update on the remaining 3 finalists in the Chopin International Piano Competition. John Paval for Access Arts Live. If you're watching this on Facebook, please like the video. If you're watching on any of our other platforms, where many of you do and you like the videos, please don't just like the videos. Follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live. We're on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and or LinkedIn.